and welcome back to my channel. So I said I was not going to do this and I did it, so I need to stop saying I'm gonna not do things, but basically I said I wasn't gonna run 2 updates together anymore, but I did. And honestly, now that I am out of the first trimester and the symptoms are far less and less different from week to week, it may happen again, but hopefully that there will be other videos in between, unlike this last week. If you don't know, I am almost 17 weeks pregnant. I will be 17 weeks on Tuesday and today is Sunday. The last update you saw was a couple videos ago and it was 14 weeks. So this video will be week 15 and 16. But this video, like I promised, will talk more so about the stockpiling. So I'm just gonna get into quickly symptom stuff. It's not really been that much. It's not really been that different. But like I said, I always talk about it in the updates because I know some of you guys are going through pregnancy with me right now. And then we will shift into the other section. I actually had Brandon out of town for the last 2 weeks and he was only home for like 2 days in between, I think, and then back out again. So we were texting about the stockpiling because it's been a long time since we've done it. So I have my text message from him so I can explain it because I was starting to forget how we did it, and we're gonna do it again this time. We already kind of started, so I'm excited to share that with you. So the first thing, like I said, I am 17 weeks, or just about 17 weeks, but the last 2 weeks obviously were 15 and 16. I just had to stop filming and go close my bedroom door. By the way, it is blazing hot in my bedroom, so if I start sweating, that's why. Also, I was going to talk about it during the symptoms. My fingers are swollen because it's so hot in here, so that's why my rings aren't on. But anyway, week 15, according to the Bump app, the baby is 4.02 inches, and it says you probably can't feel it yet, but the baby is squirming a ton. Baby might even be hiccuping in there. Baby's making lots of progress. The joints and limbs can all move now, so that's exciting. And then we'll jump over to week 16. By the way, they compared week 15 to a navel orange. Week 16, the baby is 4.61 inches, so just a little over 4.5 inches, and it's being compared to the size of an avocado, a Hass or Hass avocado, I don't know how to pronounce that. It says baby is listening to your voice thanks to tiny bones forming in his or her ears. Baby's growing hair, lashes, and eyebrows, and baby's forming taste buds. So I guess from now on I can start playing music and talking to the baby because it can finally, or she can finally hear me. If you follow me on social media, a lot of you have been asking and guessing her name and asking when I'm going to reveal it, so I'll do it around the 20-week mark, so just 3 more weeks. I just read to you from the Bump app, but I'm also going to show you the baby simulation. This is on Pregnancy Plus. Baby's getting big, looking more and more like a baby every week. Yeah, girl, grow, grow, grow. All right, so symptoms. I am not really nauseous anymore at all, which has been awesome. Every now and then, maybe like once or twice a week, I'll get a little like, oh, I'm just not feeling good right now feeling, but overall I don't feel nauseous anymore. But one thing that has kind of started to come back is just gagging at random for no reason, and I did mention that on my Instagram. Sometimes if I'm hungry and I start talking too much or too fast, like in the mornings, especially if I'm just talking to Brandon and I'm hungry, I start getting like a gaggy feeling. I also feel gaggy when I laugh too much. So like even today, Brandon made me laugh to the point of tears, and then I started feeling like gagging. So that's something I have to remember, and I try not to let myself laugh that hard. Like if I can feel it coming on, I'm like, stop, stop, don't make me laugh, I don't want to gag. But aside from that, the sicknessy kind of stuff has stopped. I don't feel like I'm quite in the sweet spot yet for the 2nd trimester, and I'm thinking maybe this time around it's just going to be 20 weeks instead of 15 like my pregnancy with Bash. I will say that I am feeling a lot better. Also, I have been able to start eating like a normal person again. I'd been kind of eating normal, but now like for 2 days in a row I ordered food from the same Mexican restaurant, and that was just like going to be unheard of even 3 weeks ago. I am steering away from a lot of seafoods, not every seafood, but most seafoods, just because I don't know, it just, the thought with pregnancy doesn't work in my mind. I'm still tired all the time. The fatigue is still going strong. I don't know when that's going to end. I thought it would have been by now. At almost 17 weeks, I just yawned really big. I don't know if it's because I'm subconsciously thinking about it or I'm just tired. But either way, I'm tired all the time. Not so much earlier in the day, but sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and think, gosh, I could do another hour or 2. But by like 3 or 4, I hit a wall and I am tired. So it was kind of hard the last 2 weeks not feeling great or being tired, and then not having my husband here because his travel schedule was like really heavy the last 2 weeks, and I was kind of here having to do the whole mom thing while pregnant by myself. I was like so tired for basically for 2 weeks. So it's been nice to have Brennan back and helping me out when I need a little me time to just lay down in this bed and take a nap. My acne, the face and back, still here. I have never had more breakouts on my face in my life, as you guys know. I just try to hide it with the makeup and clean my pores as much as I can. And I think that's pretty much it. The dyschezia is still here, but very minimal. And at the end of the video, if I remember, I always forget, I'll show you my belly. But my belly, you gotta remember, my belly is a almost 17-week belly and not 15 to 16 week belly, but it was probably about the same size. It's still much bigger than it should be at 17 weeks. Also, if you can't tell, I'm starting to gain weight, which, I mean, I have been starting to gain weight since the very start of this pregnancy. I was not this big with Bash at this point. I can tell it in my face just looking in the viewfinder and in the mirror and when I'm doing my makeup. Also, I can tell it in here that I'm gaining weight, but whatever. It's because of the baby. The baby's hungry, I gotta eat. And sometimes that's more than I should, but I just eat until I feel satisfied. But that sometimes means 6 meals a day, so whatever. But yeah, so that is pretty much it. Not a lot to share on the symptoms front for 15 and 16 weeks, which is pretty good because that means I'm starting to move into feeling better in the second trimester. I was hoping in this video to share what happened at my last OB visit, but I had to move it. So now I'm gonna have it this Tuesday. So technically at 17 weeks. So I'll be able to share that information with you guys. You'll probably hear more about it on Instagram, but I'll also share it in the next update at 17 weeks. And I'm thinking because the symptoms are getting less and less that I need to incorporate, like this video will, some kind of tool or tip. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is each week I'm going to post a question or something you'd like me to discuss in each weekly update. That way my videos aren't just 5 minutes long with saying, oh, didn't really have any symptoms this week, you know, the end. So this week, as promised, I said I would talk about the stockpiling and how I did it with Bash's pregnancy and how we ended up saving money and not having to ever purchase diapers after Bash was born for the first 6 months because we had them all already. And then in the subsequent weeks, I will, like I said, post a question on Instagram and maybe we'll discuss that. I think that that would be something fun and something that we could all take away from during the update videos. And I do not want to get anyone's hopes up, but the vlogging is going to return. You're seeing this, I'm filming this on a Sunday. You're seeing this on Tuesday. You will get a vlog on Thursday and then hopefully continuing on after that. So we'll see. I'm aiming for 2 to 3 videos a week again. So if not 3, 2 for sure. But the vlogs are probably gonna start returning. So I think I'm finally a little bit at a place where I can do stuff in the daytime and not only be laying down all day bored and sick. Anyway, let's talk about stockpiling. By the way, I hope that this lighting is much better. I know from my baby girl haul, we were playing around with the harsh lighting. I still am in front of the ring light. So I'm thinking if I'm doing hauls or videos where I'm gonna show you something, I'm gonna sit in front of the window because I won't get washed out. But when I can sit down and do this, I closed the curtain right here. Somebody said that the glare over my head was really strong. I think this is pretty good for a sit down video. So there's that. All right, so the stockpiling. I, like I said, texted Brandon the other day because I wanted to make sure that we were on the same page as far as like I'm not getting information incorrect. I'm just going to read his sentences. This is what he said to me and then I'm going to kind of elaborate on each thing. So he said, so basically we just did the subscribe and save via Amazon. So if you are an Amazon Prime user, you probably already know what this is. I highly recommend getting on Amazon Prime if you're not. Many people are at this point, but I highly recommend doing it just because when you get to a certain stage in your pregnancy, first baby or second, but especially your second or more, it's harder and harder to get out and go to the store, especially when you have to wrangle a toddler. So get on that subscribe and save. You will save money by using it. All right, so then he said, started once you were pregnant, so that way we had a decent stock of diapers and wipes for the early months. And that is basically why we did it. We had read an article somewhere that said that stockpiling was a good idea. And Bash was born at the beginning of football season. He was born the day before a game. So Brandon wasn't really home for the first several months of Bash's life. He was in and out because he spent weeks on the road. And doing it this way saved us a lot, or it saved me from having to take him out to the store anytime we ran out of diapers, because we lived in Atlanta at the time, and even though my mom was closer to me and she came and stayed with me a lot, it would have been really hard for me to depend on her or someone else to always bring me something. And I had postpartum at the time really bad, so leaving the house was just not an option for me, especially not with the baby. And so this really helped, because all I had to do when I needed a diaper was go to the closet. So like I said, started once you were pregnant, so that we had a decent stock of diapers and wipes for the early months. That way we could avoid late night runs and getting more diapers if we ran out. Those first few months were crazy, so having the comfort of knowing diapers were always in the house was comforting. Exactly. And then he said, did research online on the average number of diapers used per size and just bought from there. So I'll try to find an updated article about the average number of diapers a baby uses, and I will put those articles down in the description box below. Also, if you're wondering why I'm severely reading this to you and not just doing it off the top of my head, Brandon really took the reins, because there's not a lot a husband can do when the baby is being cooked in the belly. So he wanted to, you know, step up as a dad, and he really took the reins on this. Also, Brandon does our finances, so it kind of made sense that he would look into this. But yes, that is why I consulted him before talking to you guys about it, because I wanted to make sure I got it all right. So he said, I bought a few boxes of newborn and then a large majority of sizes 1 and 2. For me, I did it for the purpose of being overly prepared. It's in my nature. That's what he put, LOL. Important to note that stockpiling isn't for everyone. Some people are against it due to the potential that baby may not react well to certain brands of the diapers you purchase. So yeah, that's something good to talk about. Also, the reason why stockpiling may not be for everyone is I've read that people who are against stockpiling have said that it's a waste, because you may not even need all of the diapers that you purchase because they will outgrow them, which is why you do the average size, and you don't open the box until you need it. So if your baby, most babies, even bigger babies, come out needing newborn size diapers. So if you're worried about having maybe too many newborn diapers because your baby is going to be on the bigger size, wait to buy the newborn stuff until the end and just start at once, because all babies are going to start at once, no matter how big they come out. No baby's coming out, well, I won't say no because I don't know, but I find it hard to believe that babies are coming out already in size 2 diapers. So you can maybe wait till you're in your 2nd or 3rd trimester, see the size that the baby's trending to, and maybe only buy like 1, 2, or 3 boxes of newborn diapers, because they go through a lot at the beginning, instead of several more or however many. That's why you want to go based on the average. Also, a lot of places allow you to, like Kohl's I think, will allow you to return Amazon things back, and I think you can also send things back to Amazon and replace them. For instance, I think with Bash, when he hit size 2, we had 1 extra size 1 box. I believe I gave it to a friend of mine who had just had a baby, but we would have just returned it, and that is something that you can do. Another thing, like he said in the text, you kind of want to know, and if you're on your 2nd baby, you probably already know what kind of diapers you're going to use. We use Pampers, and we were just going to go strong in Pampers. Now, had Bash just come out hating Pampers, I don't know what we would have done. We probably would have just tried to return it all and replace it all with like Huggies or some other brand, Loves, I don't know. Most people, by the time you're on your 2nd child, you know what kind of diapers you're going to use, and you feel confident going full force into that. But like I said, and like he said, this is a risky run with stockpiling diapers. We chose Pampers because that's the brand that our hospital supplies, and I'd always liked Pampers, and I'd always felt like that was a good brand. So that's what we went with. All right, so the next thing, it goes right into what I had just said. The good thing with Amazon, if you're doing subscribe and save for stockpiling, it says the good thing with Amazon is that as long as the box is unopened, you can return the diapers within a certain time window. I believe it's something like 3 months, which is perfect, because if your baby comes out by month 3, you will have probably moved into a new diaper size, and if you have an extra unopened box of newborns, because you need to go into 1s, send it back for another box of 1s or a bigger size, because eventually they're going to get there anyway. And then he said, but it really worked well for us, especially with me traveling. I knew that you would never have to worry about diapers and wipes in the household. And yes, I'm pretty sure I said this already, but we did it with diapers and wipes. Most baby wipes are sensitive and aren't going to cause your baby to break out no matter what brand. I don't want to speak for all brands, and if your baby had a reaction to a certain brand, by no means am I trying to negate that. I'm just saying most wipes, no matter what they are, will be fine as far as allergies. Now it just depends on if they're wet enough or what. But if you stockpile wipes, you're never going to, and you like the brand that you chose, you're never going to not need them. Even, I mean, Bash is 2 and we're still using wipes. You can always wipe faces if you find that you have too many wipes and you don't need them. Put a pack in your car, you're gonna need them. So stockpile on the wipes too, because those are just something, it's like toilet paper, you're always gonna need it. And then he put, as a new mom that has a traveling husband, that was important to me. So basically just making sure that I never have to go to the store. And then he said, also with Subscribe and Save, you do get a small discount on the diapers and wipes as well. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're going out in the store to buy them, you will be paying just a little bit more than what you would for doing it through Subscribe and Save. That's why it's called Subscribe and Save. And we do Subscribe and Save for a lot more than diapers. We do it for pretty much all of our, not my cleaning supplies because I get that through Grove, but trash bags, paper towels, toilet paper, my Dove bars of soap, toothpaste. I'm trying to think what else that I use or we use in the house. That is what we use Subscribe and Save for, and it comes straight to our door. Today I actually brought in a box of hefty garbage bags in from Amazon that we got through Subscribe and Save, and it's awesome. We don't have to get this stuff from the grocery store. We just get food only. And then he said the more items you add to your Subscribe and Save, the more you can save as well. So that's why we do all the other things. So he said, so we bought diapers, wipes, baby detergent, and a few other necessities. So the other necessities were like the paper towels and all the other stuff. But yes, we also did Dreft through Subscribe and Save. So I picked up, I think, 1 bottle of Dreft originally to wash all of his clothes in before he was born, and then Brandon realized we could add that to the Subscribe and Save, and I'd been getting it ever since. I also am a partner and an ambassador for a company called Noodle and Boo. You might have just seen that I did a giveaway on my Instagram, and I've worked with them for the past year or so. Love Noodle and Boo. But if you are not interested in Noodle and Boo or haven't tried it, or you're worried and you just want to use Dreft like every other mom out there, which I plan to use both because I just love Dreft, and that newborn Dreft, y'all, smells so good. You can get the Dreft on Subscribe and Save. And then he said, as we said, not for everyone, but it helped us avoid those midday or late night runs with a newborn. And that was what he said. But anyway, I hope that at least starting the conversation about stockpiling on here was helpful, and I can talk about it a little bit more in the next video as well if you have specific questions about stockpiling, if you have any. So list them in the comments. But this was really helpful to us because basically we did not, like I said, buy diapers for the first 6 months, and we had very little excess that we felt like we couldn't do anything with. And when you do save them, you're always going to know someone who's going to need diapers, or a local church if you need to give them away. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. Also, in the comments below, start leaving your topics for, you know, mom topics that you would like me to discuss in the updates. So it can be anything, how we work through postpartum, how, you know, you manage a schedule with a traveling husband, tips, tricks, anything you would like to hear or know my perspective on. Obviously, I'm not a guru, but I do a lot of things, so maybe you would just like another perspective, and I'm always willing to learn and help. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video for my 17-week baby appointment / vlog / whatever else we get into that day. I'll see you guys then. Bye.